everybody, this is So Many Sequels. I'm Josh.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm David.
Welcome to the show. It is A24 month, A24 Prol, here on So Many Sequels, here on our YouTube channel and podcast feed. Be sure you subscribe to the show, whether it's in your favorite podcasting app or on YouTube, and you will get those reviews as we release them throughout the month. But today we're going to talk about what we've been watching lately, what we've heard in the news lately. There's been some movie news to talk about. Some new trailers have dropped. But I want to kick things off by ending a sort of accidental trilogy that we have created here, where I have now completed the prophecy and watched Tombstone over the course of 3 days.
I love it.
But not for lack of trying. It's just long, and I was watching it at night. I get tired. But I did. I watched Tombstone, and you guys were right. It's a great movie. I had seen it when I was younger.
Movie.
Didn't remember a lot about it. Forgot about how many like iconic moments come from that movie. That's fun. It's just... this is like neither here nor there, and it's like a very personal experience. But I am rewatching Lost right now, also. And when
yes.
I don't remember his name, but when John Locke shows up, Mr. Locke, in that movie, while I'm watching it in that show, knowing what I know about Lost, I was uncomfortable with it. It felt like the island was talking to me, telling me to go back.
I had that same moment because I didn't know that he was in there too. Because
Right?
I went in a deep dive on that cast, right? Because it starts off and I was like, is that young curly-haired man Michael Rooker? Surely not. He's been bald since he was born. He's never had hair a day in his life, Michael Rooker. And sure enough, it was a young, strapping Michael Rooker. And so when Locke showed up in there, I had the same situation of like, is that Locke? Like it was very weird and strange.
Terry O'Quinn, that's his name. Had to check.
Yeah,
to
Terry O'Quinn.
Thank you.
It's just very coincidentally weird to me that happened. But you're right. It's a stacked, deep cast. You look at it at the Wikipedia page, and like Billy Bob Thornton is so far down that it's insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Billy Zane, he's a great character actor.
Oh yeah, Billy Zane. We didn't mention him in the last few conversations.
No,
Forget about Billy Zane.
Val Kilmer is something else in this. Very odd man.
Yes.
He plays
He is.
Doc Holliday
He
as.
is.
And they're just like, I don't know, the boys. It's just the boys. They're always like walking
Cool
in a
guys
line
doing
together
cool crimes.
up against
Cool
the
guys doing cool
sunset.
Yeah.
They're just like bullying people in town too. Earp just goes in there and he's just like, "This is my table now. You know, leave." Like just starts. When he's just slapping Billy Bob Thornton around, and you just feel kind of like bad for him almost. Almost.
You do.
You know, he was such a because he's just smacking him and he goes, "You gonna do anything? You're just gonna stand there and bleed." Oh gosh,
That's such a good line.
That's
It's a good line. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Billy Bob talked a lot of talk, and he finally met somebody who stood up to him, and that's what you do to a bully.
It is
what
the
happens
ultimate F
to a
around and
bully.
find out type movie.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I
My
loved
favorite
it.
moment, I told David this at the movie yesterday, is you tell him I'm coming and you tell him hell's coming with me. That's like, I want to live by that somehow as a motivator.
Just a rampage, you know.
You should get it tattooed on your chest, just right
No
here,
regrets.
just right across. No regrets. That's
You tell him hell's
That's
coming
how it
with
should
me.
be.
I just got a monologue here. I'd be into that. Nah, isn't that? Is it? I don't know. I don't have any tattoos. I feel like that's a painful spot. It's very thin.
Oh, in your chest?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
right?
I understand.
I'm not into.
yeah, I would imagine.
Ugh, it scares me. I don't like
know.
to hurt.
Mine is on the shoulder
Right.
where the guy told me, you ever bump into a door? And I said, yeah. And he said, you're fine.
Yeah, little,
it's not gonna
little
hurt.
meteor over there, on the chest.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I'm glad. I'm really glad that we all were able to enjoy Tombstone independently and together at the same time. That's the great thing about this show.
bizarre.
You bring a movie to a table and you might just inspire somebody else to watch
Yeah.
it. So I'm really
Yes.
glad that random watching of Tombstone on Hulu streaming right now is made it around the table.
Yeah.
Good for you
Yeah.
boys.
For sure, for sure. And if you're currently watching us right now, you should also check out Tombstone, or leave your movie recommendations in the comments below,
Yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
help us. But I've been saying this for a long time, ever since I joined Letterboxd. Help us expand our film horizons as much as possible.
This is a book club for movies. All suggestions are welcome. Bring them to the table so we can share our opinions and movies and we can watch alike. See?
That's right.
I'm going to make it work.
That's right. Now, Gary, you watched a couple movies too. You watched some classics. Cult. Well, Empire Records. That's a bit of a cult classic.
Yes, Empire Records definitely a cult
Tell
classic.
us about
and
these two movies you watched, and
yeah, so
I just got trailing off.
fair enough. I watched Empire Records, and would you believe it was my first time of watching Empire Records, and I really enjoyed it. You know, it hits all my boxes. 90s indie rebellious attitude, teenagers angst. It's it's the Breakfast Club of the 90s.
I'm looking on the poster. I'm looking on the poster. There's a dog wearing headphones, and that says Garrett movie all over.
Exactly. We've got Liv Tyler, Renee Zellweger, Anthony LaPaglia with some of the most beautiful hair, truly, that I've ever seen. You know, it was gorgeous. It's not, it's just kind of fun. If you're going in this looking for something, deep and whatever, you're probably not going to get it unless you're a teenager. Then you might be inspired by something. But, having lived through it, probably didn't have that same impact, but it was still a ton of fun.
We're a teen at heart.
Yeah, I definitely see why it's a cult classic. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, it's another one I haven't seen in a hot minute. I think a friend had me watch it in high school.
Yeah.
I'm really not certain. It feels like a movie I would have caught glimpses of on television. But I don't remember ever actually seeing the whole thing. But like, I'm looking at screen grabs here, and it looks familiar, but I don't know. I don't remember anything specific.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's fun. I would recommend it if you're just looking. It's one of those where if you haven't seen it and you've heard a bunch about it, it's definitely worth checking out. If you have seen it, you probably want to watch it again. I also watched Out of Time, which is a Denzel Washington movie. Have you guys ever heard of this movie?
Let me see here. When did it come out?
It doesn't.
2003.
It does not.
Ooh,
Well,
I like the poster.
doesn't sound familiar.
I've seen this movie before. And it was like peak Denzel when he was coming out with all of his high intense action movies, and this is one that I had forgotten about. And so it stars a wild range of cast, which includes Denzel Washington, but also Ava Mendez, Dean Cain.
Dean Cain.
Which was unfortunate.
Dean Cain.
It was unfortunate. And one more person who I can't remember, but basically, Denzel Washington is a chief of police in this small town Miami. His ex-wife, Eva Mendez, is made detective and is investigating some kind of thing happening. Well, Denzel Washington involved with Dean Cain's woman, But there's this drug money that Dean ends up with there. It's this whole thing. He steals the money, gives it to the woman. They conned him. And then he's trying to get the money back before the detectives find out that he's the one that stole it, So he's not a good guy, but you're rooting for him the whole time. And yada, yada, yada. The ex-wife and Denzel Washington get back together at the end for no real reason other than, they were back within each other's vicinity. It's a wild, crazy, stupid movie, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, Garrett, is this a cool guys doing cool crimes kind of movie?
It's got Denzel Washington and heists. Of course it is. It doesn't get cooler than Cool Guys when you put Denzel in there, especially 2003 Denzel. Come on.
Oh, man. Can you imagine Denzel in an Ocean's movie? That would have been fantastic.
That would have been amazing.
Speaking of which, I'll round out our thing by just saying I rewatched the entire Ocean's franchise again this week.
Wonderful.
That was my thing.
That.
I can only say Cool Guys so many times before I sit down and watch Oceans.
I think so. It leads into it.
It's true. There's also, we saw some new trailers come out recently. I want to talk about a few of those. Just real quick off the top here. There's already been some Quiet Place Day 1 trailers that have come out. There's another one now. You might see in theaters. You can go back and listen to our review of A Quiet Place.
And A
Quiet Place Part 2 at SoManySequels.com or on our YouTube channel. I'm sure you can expect probably a review of this one too. We haven't really gotten that far, but I would be surprised if we didn't at least talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's coming. But then The two couple I really want to talk about, because it is A24 Pro. There's a couple A24 movies that are coming out later this year. The first one is a movie called I Saw the TV Glow. And I don't know anything about it other than the trailer. And I gotta say, it's one of those trailers where I don't feel I know anything about it after watching it, other than I want to see that. It looks cool. They crawl into a TV. What do you guys think? How'd you?
Well, I
how'd
don't
you
know.
feel
I
about
missed
it?
this trailer.
Oh, is this when you
I
took
missed
a
this
trailer bathroom break?
Yeah, this is. I ran to the bathroom
Oh, well,
during
then,
this
Garrett,
when
what'd
we
you
watched
think?
this week, so I don't know anything about it.
I agree with you, Josh. It looks really fun. Looks weird. It looks like a movie that's written for me.
Yeah.
And again, A24 knows how to push all of the buttons that I enjoy when it comes to producing their weird indie movies specifically. Go see our review of Swiss Army Man if you want to understand that one a little more too. So I really like when they do movies like this. And Josh, you and I were talking a little bit before off mic. You said something and it struck with me. You said it feels like a movie that Abed might make from Community. And I agree with this, and it makes me want to see it more. But I also don't want to know much more about it. I liked the trailer. I might watch the trailer again. But otherwise, I just want to go see it.
Yeah, same. Any movie that's just like about a TV obsessed person, I think has got to be Abed. Abed would make this movie in Community. I had the same reaction, and I pulled up the synopsis here on Letterboxd to just give us a better grasp of it. It says, teenager Owen is just trying to make it through life in the suburbs when his classmate introduces him to a mysterious late-night TV show, a vision of a supernatural world beyond their own. In the pale glow of the television, Owen's view of reality begins to crack. So I'm into it. Looks cool.
Yeah, sounds super cool.
Check out that trailer, wherever trailers are
David.
seen. Set.
No. I'm looking at these.
You're-
Look at these trailer screen grabs. That looks
A little too spooky
looks
for you.
creepy.
Well, so the
See, and that was the thing. It felt like it was going to be spooky,
It
but
does.
it also never really got scary. It just got cool.
So
it got cool, spooky, kind of like Ghostbusters, but different.
the poster I'm seeing is reminiscent of like Poltergeist, with the little girl in front of the TV. So I think that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
probably where that's coming from. But we'll see if
Yeah.
it's actually scary or more. I'm kind of leaning toward maybe a little more science fiction with some horror elements based on the trailer. But anyway,
I do like Justice Smith.
yeah, Justice Smith
Yes, he's great.
stars, and he's
Justice Smith is great.
I like him. He's been in some good movies. So that'll come out later this year from A24. Check that out. And then another A24 movie. This is actually the third installment of a series. We got Maxine, which is a follow-up to Pearl, which is a follow-up to X. Have you guys... I don't think you guys have seen any of those movies, have you? Okay, so just me.
No.
No.
Josh, here's a question, though, I do have for
Yeah.
you. Because I want to see them all.
Yeah.
Seeing the trailer for Maxine looked really freaking cool. And Pearl and X have really intrigued me, both of them.
Yeah.
Here's my question, though. Would they be a good fit for so many scares? Or are they not scary? Where do they fall?
They could be a good fit, but I wouldn't expect like terror. It's not quite like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
But they fit our theme, but they are not like a traditional horror movie where you're gonna be
Okay.
like, "Ah!" And they're also each different and take place in
Sure.
different times. So they're all pretty different. That's why I'm really interested in Maxine, because from the trailer, it looks like we're gonna get maybe a 80s slasher type movie. It is set in
what it
85,
felt like.
and there's that mention of a stalker or serial killer of some sort in the trailer. And the other
Yes.
movie is also like X had a like cabin in the woods, Texas Chainsaw Massacre style slasher element, though not to that extreme, but like that's the story I felt like they were going for. So it's like each one kind of mirrors something. I think that's my interpretation anyway.
Interesting.
I don't
I'm
really-
very intrigued.
Yeah, I don't really know anything. Would this be the first like A24 trilogy? once it's completed? Like, have they done? A24 films don't really have a lot of sequels.
I don't
though.
actually know. I've never looked into what movies they've done that have had sequels. I don't know if this is the only series of theirs or not. We're very, very knowledgeable.
We're very educated.
Very educated people.
Very educated.
Well, I've never thought to ask
I
that.
haven't
So,
either.
but that's very interesting. Yeah, the trailer looked interesting. I liked all the mentions of the Night Stalker, and that was fun.
Yeah, really, the main continuing element is Mia Goth. Is the character you follow in each movie.
Yeah.
But I recommend Garrett check it out. I'm not going to recommend it to David. I know that it's not. It's not a David movie. Neither of them.
I'm
are.
just gonna be honest. It's not a slight to her in like a offensive way, but Mia Goth's face already has me on edge. She looks scary. So
Well, she's definitely got that kind of
if I
like
can get
creepy
there.
face down. She can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Contort it.
Murderers.
I'm looking at the trailer for Pearl, and I'm already scared.
Yeah, Pearl I actually like better than X. So if you watch X and you're like that's okay, you'll probably like. I hope you'll like Pearl a little more because I did.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's it, trailer wise. All right, that does it for us on this episode of So Many Sequels. Be sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You can also listen to us in your favorite podcasting app if you're into that. Just go to SoManySequels.com. You can find links there. You can also find all our past episodes and links to follow us on social media. Everybody's favorite place on the internet. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. You can find us at those places only. But you can find that again at SoManySequels.com. We'll be back next week with another movie review.